Hello, family.
Salama.
Welcome back to Stepping Stones of Hope. I'm Brother Atur.
And I'm Isha G.
And we hope everyone is doing well. Love, are you well?
I'm doing great.
Hallelujah. So, family, we are back. We've been getting a lot of requests from you, our subscribers, asking us questions about, hey, I want to leave where I'm currently living and I want to move abroad. Not just the continent, but to other countries. And they're like, but how do I do it? How do I save up the money to be able to move?
Right, because not everybody, as of right now, well, I'm not going to say just as of right now, not everybody wants to come to Africa, and we understand that. So wherever you may be relocating to, whatever is on your heart, your mind, as far as where you feel like you need to go, these are just a few tips that a lot of them we knew of. Some of them we have heard of from other people, but some tips that you can use to actually save up the funds that you need to be able to relocate and live abroad, because that's one of the scariest things that a lot of people have in their mind is, if I move, how do I take care of myself and my family? And so these are some tips on how to actually save up the funds to be able to relocate, and also some things that you can do before you relocate that can help provide you a way to, take care of yourself and your family once you get to whatever country.
Right. So one of the first things you want to do is, and you can do this in different ways. You can open up a savings account at your bank, that is strictly for saving, and look, lose the card. Just, make it a savings account, where you have to actually go into the bank to put the money in there.
Right. That's your relocation savings account, separate from your personal account, separate from your personal savings account, whatever you have, separate from business accounts or whatever, just a relocation account.
Right. Now, I do want to say this. If you're one of them old school people who, you have a lot of constraint, look, we go old school. You get you a mason jar, put your money inside the mason jar, get you that shoebox, slide it under the bed, wherever, your little honey spot is, right. you put it in there. Because there are some people who they got restraint like that. But for those you don't have the restraint, that bank account.
Right. So, like he said, just open up an account or some sort of way to save your funds. All these tips that we're going to go over, once you make funds from them, put it into your savings account. Okay. Your relocation savings account. So the first one it's a big one. It's a big way that you can actually save. Stop eating out. We spend so much money in the U.S. We're not in the U.S., but even when we were there,
right.
So much money is spent on eating out, takeout.
It's convenient.
Very convenient. The U.S. is a microwave society. Now, this is not just for the U.S. This is for people who live in Canada, who live in the islands, wherever, you can do these things. But I'm just saying the U.S. because I know a lot of people in the U.S. and that's where we were born.
Right.
So eating out is a big thing. We eat out probably about 4 times a week. Many people in the U.S. Some people eat out every day. And so if you can stop eating out, think about that. I mean, even if you go to McDonald's and little fast food places like that, for one person, you're spending sometimes close to $20.
Right. Which is crazy nowadays.
Right. So
what happened to the 4 for 4?
Save that $15-$20 that you would spend every time you would eat out.
Right.
So if it's $20 every time,
and you got a family of 4,
right?
That's $80.
$80 that you would be saving for every time that you actually eat out. It's a lot cheaper if you buy your food and cook your food at home.
Right.
Okay. I know a lot of us have gotten out of all that cooking in the U.S., but I'm just letting you know, in a lot of countries you go to, especially being back here on the continent of Africa, we do go back to a lot of cooking at home.
What we do here, which we recommend you do there, buy your stuff in bulk, right? And then what you do is, for what we do, we cook one meal, but that meal will last us for 3 days. And then after that, we'll make another meal. And we do that because that way we're not having to go out and spend money You know, you find your basics of the things you always eat, and you that's what you make. You know, and I know some people might be like, what if you get tired? But if I'm trying to accomplish something, I want to leave, I'm gonna do what I got to do.
Right. And there are lots of cheaper meals that you can actually make that last a long time. One pot meals are great, especially if you have a larger family. You
Right.
know, spaghetti is a big thing. Make you a big pot of spaghetti, a big pot of beef stew and rice. Yeah, do those pot meals, shepherd's pie. Y'all know how we do. We eat on stuff like that for like 3 days.
Right. Yeah.
So make you some meals like that are going to last a long time, so you don't have to cook every single day.
Right.
That way it's not a burden or a big chore for you to actually have to cook. The other thing, it goes along with groceries, stop buying water. Most people in the US buy their drinking water. And it will be a lot cheaper if you filter your own water. If you want to buy a filter, if you want to filter your own water, boil your water, you know.
Go to YouTube University and learn how to do that.
Learn how to filter your own water. That saves a lot, because I know when we were in the US, I think a jug of water was around $2, something like that.
Was.
Right, when we were there. And that's been over 4 years ago now. So I know $2 doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're going through 8 jugs of water, that's close to $20.
We drink a lot of water here.
Right. So you're saving that per month. The bigger your family is, of course, the more water you actually drink. I hope y'all drinking water. But you want to make sure you actually start filtering your own water. Even if you buy a filter, it's worth it because it lasts for a long time.
Right.
And so that's going to save you money that way. The other thing is with your groceries, you want to cut out a lot of the unnecessary things that you buy in groceries. For those who don't like drinking water, you drink a lot of juices and sodas, cut it out.
Juice your fruit.
Right, cut out those sugary things. Cut out the sodas. I know the children like Capri Sun stuff. Look, it's a sacrifice that you're making to actually be able to afford to leave. So it's just something that you have to do. You have to buckle down. If you are not a person that is wealthy or who has a lot of income coming in, you really have to buckle down. And these tips are only for about a year, maybe a year and a half to do these things, where you would have a good amount to actually relocate.
Right.
Let me see.
Yeah.
What's the next thing? Get rid of your cable.
What?
I know, right? I know. That's like a curse word, right? But yes, get rid of your cable. It's only, like I said, for a year and a year and a half. And that doesn't mean that you don't have anything to watch. Remember, YouTube is there. YouTube is free. And most people watch YouTube videos. If your children like watching cartoons, it's on YouTube. A lot of your favorite shows, you can actually put them in YouTube and they have the episodes there if it's older shows. If you want to watch live TV, there are plenty of free live TV
channels,
apps that you can watch. If you Google stuff like Pluto TV, things like that, you can watch live TV, and there are quite a few of them.
Right. Also, you're already paying for internet on your phone. Mm-hmm. Most of us have a smart TV in the U.S.
Right.
Your smart TV can pick up the hotspot from your phone, or you can cast from your phone to the TV. So if you have like some of my brothers who watch football, or what I used to do back in the day, I had the NFL.com app on my phone. It was free. And I would watch games, and I would just cast it to the smart TV and watch it there.
So if you have a smart phone, you can cast to your smart TV.
Right.
So it's a way for you to watch TV without having to pay for cable.
Right.
So
now, I just brought up the NFL app. It was free. But if you have one of those apps like Netflix, Hulu, things like that, that's costing you money every month, just rethink it and say, how bad do I really need this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to get out of things that are charging you unnecessary money. If it's not a necessity, cut it out, because you're trying to save. Not saying that you can't get it back later,
Right.
But your goal is to save up so you can leave because, and we're going to get into a little bit more later in this video. Remember, it costs less to live outside the U.S.
Right.
So some of these things that you're cutting, you'll be able to have again.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember that.
The other thing is, like, I know we're telling y'all some big curse word things. You can save money on your electricity.
Yes, you can.
So how? Number one, of course, turning off your lights when you're not in that room.
Right.
Turning off your AC. I know a lot of us like to keep our AC running all day. Even if we're not home, our AC's on a low setting, auto. Turn it off if you're not there. The other thing is if it's a season like the beginning of fall or springtime, in most places it's not unbearably hot there. Don't run your AC during the daytime. Turn on a fan because it's going to
open a window.
Less electricity, right? Open a window. We have screens in the U.S., so you don't have to worry about a lot of bugs coming in. We have gotten to where we're not accustomed to opening windows and getting fresh air anymore. Open your windows because that's going to cut back on your electric bill. Even when you're cooking the big like one pot meals that's going to last a few days, guess what? That's less electricity that you're using because you're not having to cook so many times every single day. So
right.
Those are some things that are going to save on the electricity for you. So I know it's hard because we're so used to having AC inside of our house 24/7. When we go to our car, we got AC. When we go to our job, we got AC. Mm-hmm. So we are AC babies. But you can cut down on your electric bill if you just do those things.
Yeah. Also, you can go through your house, go into rooms that I don't really go in there. Look for things that don't really need to be plugged in. If it's not a necessity, unplug that bad boy.
Right.
And you will notice the difference in your electricity bill.
Right. The other thing with your electricity, most of us have washer and dryers in the U.S. And I don't know how much everybody washes, but try and cut down on the amount of times that you actually are washing your clothes, especially with that dryer.
Right.
It pulls a lot of electricity. So if you can cut down on the amount of times that you're washing clothes to save money, cut down on the amount of times that you're washing. For instance, if you're used to, for me, I am accustomed to washing every week. But if you have enough, maybe you wait and you wash every 2 weeks instead of every week. So that's going to cut down on that electricity bill.
Right. Now, for my people who love to work out, love to go to the gym and everything, listen, I get it. I understand. But I'm going to tell you right now, cut out that gym membership. Go work out at your house, work out in your apartment, in your neighborhood. Find you one of those parks that has the gym equipment. Get into calisthenics because you don't need the weights. You use your body as your weight, and just do that for a year. As long as you're, keeping yourself exercising, doing things, you're going to keep your body right. And you're going to lose the weight you want, but you're saving money, so that's another thing that you can cut out so that you can save the money that you need to reach your goal.
And he said, Jim, this is something for my ladies. I'm going to say this. We like to get our hair done in the U.S. We like to keep that bad boy done, right? So maybe don't go get your hair done as often.
Sis, you tripping, sis. Don't tell me how to get my hair done.
And even if you're natural and you're like, I have to go to the hair salon and get my hair because it's hard for me. Look, maybe just cut out a portion of it. Maybe wash your hair at home and only go to the salon for them to style your hair.
Right.
That way you're saving some money. So if you don't want to cut it out altogether, cut out a portion of it. I would say that. I'm not a person that likes extensions, but for those who wear extensions, maybe try extending the life of those extensions so you don't have to get them done as often. But you can save money even with your hair.
Right. And my brothers, grab you some trimmers, trim the beard up, learn to trim it up yourself. You're trying to save money because I know nowadays I'm hearing people spending $300-$400 to go to the barber shop. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? Nah,
Right.
give me a razor and my trimmer, and if it's a special occasion, okay. But just my normal, I'm gonna hit it up myself.
Right.
But it saves money.
Right. Also with your nails, instead of going to the nail salon, y'all remember our grandmas, our aunties and stuff when we were growing up, they didn't go to the nail salon. They went and bought nail polish from the store and they did their own nails and toes. So go back to doing things like that where you can still look how your best. Right. But you're saving money. You don't have to pay anybody. Doing nails, it don't take a long time. And now they sell pretty much all the equipment to everybody if you want to do your nails. The machines where you dry your nails, you can buy your gel nail polish if you want. You can do all that yourself. If you worry about a pedicure, go get you one, then go get you a nice pumice stone. Yeah. And when you're in your shower, keep your feet scrubbed down so you don't always need to go and get a scrub. So save money by going to the nail salon.
Yeah.
The other thing is find free activities to do. I know we love having something to do when we have some downtime. And I know for those who have kitties, little children, they get very antsy very easily. So I'm not saying don't do things. They need to burn that energy.
Right.
But find free things to do. We need to go back to like going to libraries. The library is free.
Is free there.
Imagination is free. So right. Go take them to the library. Make it a fun day for them. Of course, the park is free in the U.S.
And I want to add to that. So excuse me, love. I want to add to that because when you move abroad, I'm telling you right now, time kind of goes back. And what I mean by that is that rat race that we are in the West, it disappears when you leave out of the West. So you have more time to spend with your family. So as you're doing these free activities, you're investing in your family because that's what you're going to be doing when you come to the continent, or if you go to an Asian country or a European country. It's not like the U.S. So when you're abroad, life is a lot more relaxed. You have more time for family. If you're just a couple, more time for your spouse. If you're single, you have more time to go around and see things instead of always wake up, work, come home, work, home. That's it.
Right. And we know most of the cities in the U.S., they offer free activities throughout the month. You just need to go to your city website and find out what activities are coming up. And many times you can find free activities to do. For those who live by the ocean, you have the beach. For even others who live by nice lakes and things, you can go swimming. So find free activities that you can do. I know people get hungry when they're doing those activities. Go back to making your lunch. Pack your lunch and bring it with you. So when the children are hungry, you can give them something without having to go and spend money for food.
You mean like we used to do when we'd go to the movies and we pack stuff in it?
Stop, don't do that, y'all.
But my wife, she mentioned the kitties. So when me and my wife first got married, she worked at a park, and the park sometimes would have free movie nights where people could bring their kids out, and they would have a big projector out there, and you could bring your kids out there, and the kids would eat free. They would have food, but we'd bring a couple sandwiches for us, so it wasn't free for us, but it was free for the kids. But it's just one of those things you can look up.
Yeah. There's lots of free things. I know in South Florida at the beach, they have a free splash pad for the children to play. So there are lots of places where you can go. It's free. There are free petting zoos that we know of.
Yeah.
So find activities that are free. Even if you're a husband and wife, find some activities where you don't have to go out all the time when you want to do a date night. Have indoor date nights.
Right.
Or once again, find something that's free that you can do.
So now let's talk about how you can save on housing. So if you are in a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartment, but it's just, the two of you, then you could go down to a smaller, like a 1 bedroom. That will save you money every month just on your rent.
Yeah. I just want to go back really quickly before, because I know he said housing. You can also sell your non-necessities.
Yes, yes, yes.
So many of us have
A
kitchen
lot of stuff.
appliances and we don't use them all.
Just be sitting and looking at you.
You would be surprised what people will actually buy. So if you have kitchen appliances, there are many websites that you can post your things. I say in the US, I'm not sure about other places, but definitely US, where you can post your appliances, whatever you have, and you can sell them.
Mhm.
So whatever you're not using, sell it.
Right.
Even if you have a child and you had a car seat or you have a car seat, but they don't need it anymore, sell the car seat. Sell the baby stroller. Sell your clothes. Sell your shoes. Sell your jewelry. You know, there are so many different things that you can actually sell. Just go through your house. Most people like to store stuff in their garage. Have a garage sale.
Right.
And sell those things that you don't need right now because you're not using them. I'm not saying sell your bedroom set, your living room furniture.
Because you still need it till you leave.
Right. But other things you can sell, and you'll be surprised what people will actually buy.
Right.
And I know this because when I was in the US, that's something that I used to do. I used to sell things that I didn't need. The other thing is finding a side hustle, which kind of goes with this. One of the side hustles you can have, because some people may say, I don't have anything to sell. Well, many of those same websites have free items listed that people just want to get rid of. What you can do is go pick up those free items, and then you can, in return, sell those items that you picked up for free.
Right.
I used to do that as well in the US sometimes to make a little change, especially when we were trying to come here to the continent. That's one of the ways that we actually saved some things, even though we ended up having to use it to fix our car before we got here. That was one of the ways that I was able to save some money by finding free items and then reselling them. Yeah. What's next on the list?
So, like I was saying about the housing, you can downsize your house, go down to a smaller house, so you save money. You can also get a roommate. Mm-hmm. And so these are things that you can do to save money, so you're almost cutting your rent in half, so that money can go towards you moving.
Right. So great way to save. Another way that you can make some income is by doing like some Uber. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people already work like all day and like, man, I ain't trying to be doing no Uber after I get off from work. I get it. However, Saturday nights or Sundays, maybe you take 4 hours Saturday nights and you take, 4 hours Sunday and you do Uber. If you do that, we used to do Uber. We used to do
Uber Eats,
DoorDash. There's so many different rideshare companies and food delivery companies. You can actually take on a side hustle and just work a couple days a week for a few hours, and you can make like $100. And I'm talking about profit. I'm not talking about gas money that you have to put back into your car.
Right.
I'm talking about after you re-upped on your tank, you can have about $100 that you can save to the side every week. So you can do Uber or food delivery, whatever. And the other thing is you can become a content creator as well.
Yeah.
Whatever content that you may be interested in putting out, you can do it, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can become a content creator. Or you
What about MySpace? Oh, wait, we don't use that no more.
Wow. You telling our age right now. But you can do something like that, or you can sell things. If you're good at making things, selling things, you can open you up like an online store and sell things.
Something we missed. So for some of you who've been reaching out to us, you say it's you and a family member. If you guys are living in 2 separate houses, move into one house together because you'll both be saving money.
Right. So, and if you're not, you coming with someone you can find out if there are any family members or friends who actually are supportive of your move. See if you can actually move in with them where they will only charge you a little something every month
Right.
for rent bills, where you can save the majority of your money that you've been paying for rent. So, for instance, like you could literally save anywhere from 500 to 2,500 USD per month if you did this. Whether you're moving in with somebody, or like he said earlier, if you take on a roommate or downsize your apartment,
Right.
you know, it's just for like a year and a half. So if you're in a 3-bedroom apartment, maybe downsize to a 2-bedroom. If you're in a 2-bedroom, can you downsize to a 1-bedroom? If you have a house that you're renting and it's a 3-bedroom, well, are you using all 3 of those bedrooms? Like, how can you either downsize or make money from those extra rooms that you have?
Right. You already mentioned the non-necessities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Selling non-necessities. Something else you can do as your if your credit's good, y'all know how we are. Some of our credit ain't good, but if you got good credit, get you a card that gives you rewards on flights. And so, what I mean by that, you take the money that you're already going to spend on food, bills, you use the card to pay that. Then you take the money and you put it back on the card so it's not hurting you. All right. But the reason why you're doing that is now you're building up your reward points. So now you can use those reward points to buy your ticket to go to wherever you're going, or at least cut your ticket price in half. So that helps in that aspect.
Right. Another thing you can do, if you have a car that you own, sell your car.
Yeah.
And use public transportation. So I know that's something that we are not accustomed to in certain parts of the US, but other places, especially up north, they have so many different ways that you can get around. If you're in like the southern part of the US, I know definitely you got the bus.
Right.
But you can still sell your car and take the bus.
Right.
Because it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, you don't have no insurance to pay anymore. You're not putting gas. Yeah, no repairs. Because that was one of the things that hurt us when we first left. Well, the week we were leaving to go see family to say our goodbyes, we had sold all of our stuff.
No, it was more than a week. It was like maybe a month, 2 months before.
Right, but our transmission on our car went out, so the money that we had saved, we ended up having to pay to get our transmission fixed so we could go to where we were going.
Right. And the unfortunate thing, where we lived, there weren't a lot of buses and everything that came where we lived in Georgia, but it's okay. Yeah. But you can do that. You can use public transportation, or you can do carpooling as well to actually save some money for relocating. And when you're getting ready to move, say you're coming down to, you have 2 months left, go ahead and start selling those big ticket furniture items in your home. You want to sell your living room set. You want to sell your bedroom set. And I went to school as an interior designer. I've done interior design. Listen, if you want to make the most money when you're selling your furniture, I don't care how bad your furniture may look, stage it.
Yep, that's what we did.
Stage every room in your house.
And take pictures.
And take really nice pictures from like 3-4 different angles when you're selling your furniture. Whatever it may be. If you have a kitchen table and chairs, but that's just all that you have there, put some
little knickknacks.
Like a centerpiece on the kitchen table. Set it up where you put plates, a bowl on top of the plates, the forks and spoons, placemats. Set it up and take the picture like that. If you don't have any pictures on your wall by your dining room, take whatever picture you have, put it on the wall behind behind that table.
It works.
Stage your rooms and then take the pictures. You will get a lot more people trying to buy that item because it's staged.
Right.
Okay? Living rooms, make sure throw you some throw pillows on your sofas. Some nice decorative throw pillows on your sofas and take the picture like that. Any stains, anything, make sure you clean them off the best you can. And you stage it. Even if you're selling a TV stand, whatever, you want to make sure you put some decor around that, above the TV, behind the sofa. Make sure you have a picture, mirror, something nice.
Fluff your pillows.
Right, to stage it. Make sure your bedroom, you have the whole thing set up. You can make good money, way more money than you would if you did not stage that room.
Right.
So that's just a big tip on when you're selling those big ticket items, how to get the most for that money.
And for some of y'all, wash your car before you take a picture of it. Don't put no dirty picture of your car and ask somebody to come buy it, because they're going to feel like this car must not be that good if they didn't really take good care of it. So they'll feel like, I don't want that. So make sure your car is nice and clean, vacuumed out, Armor All on the tires. Shine that bad boy up and then take a few different pictures from good angles as well.
Right. And the other thing is, because I know everybody don't own homes in the U.S., but for the ones that own a home, sell your home. Sell it. Because that is the biggest ticket item right there, where you can make a good amount just by selling your home. I get it. Some people may want to be like, well, I don't have that much equity in my home. Well, are you coming back? Like, there's no reason to hold on to that house if you're relocating.
Right.
So sell your home. And again, when you're selling your home, make sure you're staging your home. Make sure that you may have to put in a little bit of money to be able to get more money for your house. So I recommend doing that as well. Remember, kitchens and bathrooms sell homes. So make sure those are the best looking rooms in the house. So make sure you sell your home. That's a big way of getting money. But for those who don't, we already gave you different options for bringing in more savings for relocating. So those are the tips for when you're in the U.S. I can say definitely, or around whatever country you're in, whether it's Canada, Europe, wherever. Those are some really good tips to help you to save money very quickly to be able to relocate.
Right.
And now I say when you're in the U.S. or when you're in these other countries, because being here for over 4 years now,
2 countries,
I can tell you it is a lot harder if you don't do this before.
Right.
We didn't have a lot of time to do this. Okay, we had a good 6 months before we were gone, and you all know our story. But if you do these things, you can definitely save a big chunk of money. Even if you're a single person, individual person, can save easily within a year's time, anywhere from 25, 30,000, and that's without selling the big ticket items. That's without selling a house or whatever. You can save that much. You can save a lot more, obviously, if you're selling a car or a house.
Right.
But those little things, is every little bit adds up. So when you're saving the $200 on your electric bill, you're doing the Uber and you're making that $400 extra per month. When you're selling those items on the side and you're making a couple $100 per month. When you're saving, $200-$300 on your grocery bill, all of those things add up very quickly. So you can quickly end up saving over $2,000 a month.
Right.
If you just take the time to do these things. You can save over $2,000 a month.
Easily.
Most people easily in the U.S.
Right. Now, just to add to what my wife is saying, cost of living outside of the U.S., we're going to talk about Botswana and Tanzania, because that's where we've been for the last 4 years. In Tanzania, if you are bringing in a minimum, and I think I'm kind of overdoing it, 1,500, you're going to be good. Yeah. If you're bringing that in a month, and here in Botswana, what would you say for here?
For a family, I think we did it in our video, about 2,000, 2,500, you're good.
Right.
Per month. And that's for a family. And I'm saying husband, wife, a couple of children.
Right.
That's what I mean. If it's just husband and wife, it's gonna be a lot less.
Right.
Don't
get rid of y'all kids because we telling y'all it's less if you don't got the kids.
And my biggest tip is find an international remote job.
Yes.
Or you can actually apply for a job overseas, wherever it is. There are companies that hire people from
different
countries to actually come and work.
Right.
So you can get a remote job. And I say an international one because one of the things that we have run into is that even if you have a remote job in the US, once you relocate,
it ain't really remote anymore.
They don't want you. Many companies don't want you to work remotely unless they're an international company or a company that allows international remote work. Right. So make sure that the company you work for allows remote work internationally. Because I know a lot of people come and they use VPNs. VPNs are not what they used to be.
They're going out of style.
And so you know, instead of trying to duck and dodge and everything and say, I'm going to use my VPN so I don't know where I am. Look, they can trace it very easily, most companies, especially with all this AI technology now. And once they find out that you're using those VPNs, they will cut you with the quickness.
That's happened to us.
Right. So get you a remote job that actually allows international remote work. I was working for 2 different companies since we're here on the continent. And I didn't know that I couldn't use a VPN. And so I could no longer work for those companies because of it. But I did some research and I found out that many companies don't allow that. They don't want VPNs to be used when you're doing your work.
Right.
They don't want you to hide your location. So, unfortunately, being overseas, to work remotely, you have to use VPNs. So, you have to find a company that's okay with you using your VPN to work remotely. But make sure you do that. You find a company ahead of time before you move.
Right.
That way, you don't have to worry about how am I going to take care of myself when I get over here? You're working remotely. Even if it's something that's not in your field of work, there are so many different jobs that you can get in the US to do remotely. Mm-hmm. And it's so much easier when you do it over there. Once you get on the continent and you try and do it backwards, a lot of times they don't want that. But if you do it before you leave and come to whatever country you're going to, it's a lot easier. And like I said, if not, apply for an international job. You know, whatever skills you have special skills like we talked about before. If you're a teacher, even there are a lot of companies that they offer jobs for online teachers.
Medical field,
right.
IT specialists.
You can get jobs internationally. And the last thing is when you relocate, live a modest lifestyle.
Yes.
That's one of the biggest issues that I have seen a lot of diaspora make when they come to the continent. They come and because the cost of living is a lot less
than what we're used to.
Right. They feel like they can live like the lifestyle of the rich and famous. And then they run out of money. And so you can't do that. You need to make sure you're living a modest lifestyle. Not to say that you can't enjoy yourself sometimes, but you want to be able to live here and be comfortable and not feel like you're being stretched. So I understand maybe you didn't live in a big house in the US and it's like, but the house here costs less than the house that I'm renting in the US. I get it, but do you need that big house
at that time?
Do you need all of that space?
Right.
You know, if it's just 2 of you, do you need a 4-bedroom house? If it's 3 of you, if it's 4, do you need 4, 5, 6 bedroom homes? You don't. So save your money and actually live a modest lifestyle. You may want a really nice fancy car because they're cheaper wherever you're going. But do you need that? Right. You need a good car
A to B
to get you A to B. That's what you need. Do not come over to whatever country you're going to and spend all this unnecessary money.
Right.
You want to make sure that you have enough to where you are you're comfortable, but you're not just going crazy with spending money.
Right.
So these are the things that you want to consider. Make sure you're looking at videos like
cost of living videos.
Right, cost of living videos, so you understand what you need to actually be bringing in to live in that country. Like what we told you, if you have a family of 4, you know that you need at least $2,000 per month. You know, it's $2,500. So make sure that you find you an online job where you're actually bringing in that amount. If you don't want to do online work, you can actually start your own little company.
Yeah.
So make sure that you're bringing in what you need. Make sure whatever job you get is bringing in enough for you to take care of yourself and your family.
Right. So family, you know, the biggest thing we want you to take away from this video is to be a good steward with what you have, with what the Most High has blessed you with. Be a good steward with it, you know, and just honor what He has given you, because He told us that everything above the earth, under the earth, and on the earth belongs to Him, that He is our provider. He's the one that has provided you with the funds that you have. All those things that you're going to be selling, He's the one that provided you with it.
Yeah.
And so now be a good steward with those things that He gave you, so that you can move on to the next place that He has for you, or you and your family.
Yeah.
You know, so family, as always, we appreciate you guys. And again, if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, then the notification button. Also like this video and leave us a comment just saying, hey, new subscriber here, so we can give you a shout out. You know, I was telling the wife I want to start doing some shout outs in our videos. So if you are a new subscriber, when you subscribe, please leave a comment saying new subscriber here. And in our next video, we'll give you a shout out. Also, to our regular subscribers, y'all already know what to do. Like it, share it, comment, you know. And matter of fact, if you're already a subscriber, we're going to give you a shout out too. So put your name in there and say, hey, I've been with you tell us how long you've been with us. We're going to give you a shout out as well. And if you want to support what we're doing here on this channel, please become a part of our Repat family by going to Patreon and putting in stepping stones to home and becoming a Patreon member. Also, you can support us through Cash App at $ stepping stones, the number 2 home. Also, family, remember, we are doing consultations again. And again, our consultations are free. We're not asking you for anything. If you would like to give us a donation, we'll gladly accept it, and we're very grateful for it. You know, but we really want to share this information with all those who need to hear it. Yeah. So, do you have anything else, love?
I don't have anything else.
All right, family. Y'all have a beautiful day. Shalom.
Shalom.